can at least hear me, please indicate, and I would love to synchronize my devices. I'm very new to these devices, and you are going to pardon me with the way I talk, because there are a lot of fillers in my words. I use a lot of arms. That's something that is going to improve in practice, but as of right now, we've got bigger fish to fry. Now let's just go right into it. Okay, I do not know where you are watching from. If you want to indicate, please do. Good. Sometimes it's just too bright for me. So bright for me. Okay. All right. So I feel I have what I need. Just cancel this one. Slowly. Integration matters. We're going to be talking on sensitive issues today, so I want to make sure that I'm visible, clear. Now, here we go. Can you see me and hear me clearly? Please, if you can, indicate in the comment section so that I will know before I start. I'm sorry, I cannot. I don't understand whether you guys can hear me or not. From my end, it looks as if you can. If you can, please indicate. Alhamdulillah. Since we are starting with Borno today, I know a lot of you are going to be bored, but just be patient with me. The moment we start, inshallah, we will not be as bored as you think you would be. I have to set up these systems. I'm very new to YouTube systems and what works. I've been trying different applications. It hooks here, it hooks there, runs here, runs there. I may need guidance by professionals and maybe some expert editors to handle the editing part of it while I do the surutu part of it.
I want to also thank Mr. Hassan, who also read beautiful poem this afternoon, and he has gotten the essence of true leadership in that poem, and it's good for the youth, for you to emulate.
Apologies. What I was advertised for, that it's going to work for me, has not worked for me. I'm so sorry. For bringing you up with your precious time on this. Yeah. Can anyone hear me? Please, if you can hear me, indicate. Please indicate if you can hear me. I thought I did my due diligence. Took time to put all these things together. So many softwares to work through, and still people can't hear me. If no one can hear me, then there's no point doing the stream. I would rather just end it and maybe try and figure out what is wrong. The most frustrating thing is that there is no way to test on a mobile device whether you are audible or not for you to keep recording. Because I know that after I am done, I'm still going to have time to edit it. So, yeah, well. Hello, hello, hello. Use Bluetooth microphone. And microphone. But which one? Since okay, it's not the mobile networks. Mic is on. It said that mic is on. I don't know why it doesn't work. Even though it says, oh my god. No wonder. Well, right now I think I'm back. I don't know whether anyone can hear me. If you can hear me, please indicate. Indicate, please, if you can hear me. Or I'll just end the stream and start all over again. Or maybe continue. There's no point continuing if there is no audio. So I'll just end it if you can hear. If you can't hear me, or if you can hear me, just say yes or like on my comment that you can hear me, please. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please say yes that you can hear me so that I can continue. I suppose I don't have my primary audience, and that is why this is happening. But let me continue. I believe since the connection showed that the mic is working, then it's probably working. Now, let's go back to what we're talking about. A lot has happened in history that has led to different kind of conflicts, and they say that the winner, actually writes the story. And a lot of people still argue that the reason why we're not being taught the real history of the world is because of the atrocities that got the people, that control the world in power today to get where they are. And therefore, there is a deliberate, dumbing down of the actual moral bankruptcy of the philosophy that led to that level of violence, you know, just for the sake of power and the lack of morality and humanity and all that. Now, let me just state this: Borno has been there for over 1,000 years. It has seen many eras, many things, many invasions. It has survived. It has survived a lot of catastrophes, and so it will survive Boko Haram. But the reality is that the world is changing, things are changing, and therefore we must act accordingly. Now, what is essential for us is not to make the mistakes of misinterpretation and allow the narratives to get so out of hand. Because if you listen to Nigerian media, there's a sense of sensationalism. There's always this stereotyping, this agenda like nudging like suggestive like talking when they talk about the realities of Borno. And it is always to make themselves look good and to make us look bad. It is bad enough that we have suffered over 15 years of insurgency and we are still here. We are still here trying to survive. We are still here trying to catch up. We are still here trying to make ends meet. Yet, this campaign of continuous misrepresentation of the narratives of what is actually happening and what has actually happened to the Borno people in the manner it has happened, and from the sources of the people who actually experienced what happened, has been so twisted that if you do not know anybody who is on ground, you will just see the people of Borno like mostly barbarians. That leads to the stereotyping, the prejudice, and the usual, discrimination that happens. But let me tell you this, and if you must remember anything, please remember this. Um, the earthquake before the storm. That is what I named this live session. What I meant by that is the fact that the tremor before the earthquake, the tremor. In places where the tectonic plates are active, usually there are tremors before earthquakes. Not always, but usually. So tremors are like mini earthquakes. You feel the ground shake a little bit, and then stops. Shake a little bit, and then stops. That means that place is geologically active, and then there is a possibility of an actual earthquake. So the metaphor that I'm using for the title is to let you know that the signs were all there, and it was like the way it happened was like a combination of everything coming together like a perfect storm. So, the reality is this, whether people want to accept it or not. But as me, a person who was born in Borno, Meduguri especially, Meduguri, where everything started, where I was there when it started, and still following it up till now, still trying to recover, still doing my best to see that we get back to the best that we could. I will tell you this. You remember, if you are old enough, if you remember the post 9/11 world, something shifted. It was different. Something shifted. The post 9/11 world was a moment that was characterized by a lot of Islamophobia, anti Islamic hate, um, you know, violence, brutal invasions of Islamic countries. Um, and it coincided with a nascent democracy because that was the same time that Obasanjo just came into power. Obasanjo came into power in 1991, and in 2001, the Twin Towers say were crashed, like Muslims crashed it. So that essentially meant that the United States invaded Afghanistan, and Iraq, somehow they still invaded Iraq, and it was a moment of fast changing uh, communication landscape. GSMs were beginning to become quite common. The internet was become quite common. uh, you know and people then actually, in previous times, like, it wouldn't have mattered so much because people would have listened, had the story, but it wouldn't have mattered so much than having the ability to see it. Now, Borno is a very, 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 okay, from the history you would know, over 1,000 years of Islam. It's no joke. It's no joke. Nobody holds this history close to us. Amidst this Nigeria. Now, okay, factor that in. Just hold on a moment. I want you to factor that environment, that post twin tower bombing world, okay, and the Islamophobia that was all around, and then Muslims having to watch the West go into Iraq, bomb, kill, maim innocent Muslim young women and children on a fake propagandized idea that they had weapons of mass destruction. You can see the injustices, the root causes of what is actually happening. Okay, hold that thought a minute. I want to also bring you another dynamic also that contributed to that. I told you of the national democracy that Nigeria had at that time, and because democracy, for the average Nigerian man, as at that time, did not really understand it very much, and we're used to military rule, and suddenly now they say you have freedom of speech. To make matters worse for the government, and the person who was president is an ex-soldier who naturally would not understand, the peculiarities of democratic institutions, and rather govern democratically. He was quite dictatorial himself, like all the leaders that came after him, except for Yaradua. I don't think we had any leader that was not dictatorial. Well, you could say Jonathan was meek, but certainly not dictatorial. Yaradua was, I think, quite principled. He's the only one that I would say is different. Okay, now, uh, coming back to that, if you guys remember, during those moments where there was this technological boom and access to information, and we had a nascent democracy, Saddam Hussein was hanged on a Salah day. On a Salah day, on the day Muslims were supposed to be their happiest, and they broadcasted it all over the world so that Muslims can see it and feel the hurt. And it did deliver the intended consequences because we are still suffering from it. So that is three dynamics now that I'm talking to you about. Oh. Now, if you look at the fact that we do not understand democracy too, and that our democracy was quite infantile, especially this American system that we had at that time, because the way Obasanjo actually dealt with things would have been with the with the advantage of hindsight, it would have been completely different right now if things were to be the same. One man, let me try to answer you. Maybe I'm using the wrong application. I don't know. There's a lot of. Oh, good. Okay, you said, but Borno is not the epicenter of the world, not even the epicenter of Nigeria. History matters one man. Not now. It used to be. That does not mean tomorrow Borno may hold dominion over Lagos and Yoruba should be Dobale will be prostrating for us as usual. Because there is a link between whether people, but archaeologically we've not been able to establish it historically, but there is a very huge link between Yorubas and Kanuris. And culturally, there is some significance to that. But anyway, that's not the topic for today. Let me try to answer your engagement, please, and share the link and share the link in the chat. I've shared the link on Facebook. I've shared the link on. Okay, let me send it to you one more. Maybe I think what would have to I would have to go back to is using. I've sent the link to you one man through WhatsApp. Um, Let me just paste it on the screen and pin it. Hi, I've been done for by this Chinese apple. Even to share. Mama, did you get the link on WhatsApp? I tried to share the link here. It just said text. I don't know what it meant. It's okay. Is it that?